I'm sick and tired of everybody gobbling the nuts of the most popular mainstream rappers, especially because all the mainstream rappers gets pushed by the industry and goes to the top of the playlist, like Rap Caviar and shit like that. That's like saying my favorite food is McDonald's. McDonald's are on every single block of major cities. I'm gonna appeal you back to really underrated restaurants, but in this sense, rappers, man. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the most underrated rappers in each region of the United States. For the Western region, you'll think of West Coast rappers like Kendrick Lamar, YG, The Game, and maybe even Roddy Ricch, even though he low-key flopped. For my first pick, the number one choice I'm going to go with is Tyler, the Creator. He's low-key a GOAT, man. Tyler doesn't get the respect he deserves in the mainstream at all. Like, man, people just throw him to the side. Tyler, Creator, has been on a legendary run right now with 3 crazy bodies of work in the last 5 years with Flower Boy, Igor, and Call Me If You Get Lost. All crazy projects. Not to mention, Tyler, the Creator, had a sold out world tour, including selling out MSG 2 nights in a row, and still somehow gets overlooked by the mainstream media. Like, really? Tyler makes amazing music, and as well, he's a crazy producer, producing the majority of his last 3 albums. Tyler went from starting his career talking about homophobic slurs in his raps and just being a crazy maniac, to announcing his album Flower Boy that he's bisexual, potentially, and changing up his whole sound and art in an absolutely beautiful way when he made a pop singing album on Igor and got nominated for a Grammy and won the Grammy. And then going back to his roots with rapping with a very fire project, Call Me If You Get Lost. The Creator has had a great career, and in my opinion, he should be in the conversation for the top 3 in rap with the likes of Kendrick Lamar, Drake, and J. Cole. He is my pick for the face of the region of the West. And man, just stop overlooking Tyler, the Creator. 2 Grammys in the past 5 years with Igor and Call Me If You Get Lost. Man, you guys be blind, that mainstream media, like, straight up. For the Eastern region, you like to think of all the legendary New York spitters in our time, like Jay-Z, Nas, A$AP Rocky, Joey Badass, or even, recently, all the members of Griselda. For me, I'm going to the place known as Chiraq, or Chicago. I'm going with a rapper named Saba. And yo, Saba is very underrated, known to some as a Kendrick Lamar clone. But don't be pushed away from those claims because he really holds his own, especially in the underground. And he's got a lot of crazy cosigns and crazy looks at the same time. Sab is more on the conscious rap lane in the likes of Chance the Rapper, No Name, Mick Jenkins, Smino, and Isaiah Rashad. This man Saba is a straight up genius. Now listen to this. In high school, he had a 3.5 GPA while still making music and handing out mixtapes. He really was a grinder when it came to music, especially early on. Sab released his first mixtape, Get Comfortable, in 2012, featuring other Chicago natives on the come up. He later continued his career with releases of Comfort Zone, Spare Change, and his Bucket List project in 2016, which got lots of praise in the underground. Then in 2018, he dropped his project, Care For Me, which got everybody online saying he's the real deal. And next up, and in 2022, he dropped his most recent project, A Few Good Things. And man, I love this project, which in my opinion is one of the best projects of 2022, bar none, with amazing songs like Shoulder, If I Had a Dollar, Stop That, and 2012 with Daywave. Saba, in my opinion, is the face of the Eastern region, and he's the most underrated by far. He's absolutely flames. The conscious rap man, he needs to stay in the industry as well. I love that hyper pop and the raid sound, but we need some spitters with a nice singing voice, R&B infused sound as well. And Saba is definitely that artist, man. Oh God. The most underrated rapper in the South is straight up Russ. Russ isn't known as a typical Atlanta rapper from the South, like that turn up trap shit. For example, all the rappers from YSL or Lil Baby or Gucci. Russ is known for being the most consistent, independent rapper alive. Yo, shout out Tech Nine, he's up there as well. was selling out the Staples Center within the past 5 years and going on a real world tour across all over the world, including venues with 20,000 people. Not to mention, he's having viral songs independently. Russ is the most underrated rapper from the South because he's capable of making pop songs and lyrical rap songs. He'll sprinkle in some turn up songs here and there, like the song Best on Earth, which peaked at number 62 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts. Russ even went as far as dropping purely rap projects with a Chomp series, Chomp 1 and Chomp 2, with a boatload of legendary features including The Game, Black Thought, Royce da 5'9", Joey Badass, and many more. Russ has such a strong fan base, a cult-like fan base, with audiences being mostly women. I think Russ is the most underrated rapper in the South, and he is my pick for the most underrated in the South. Now, the most obvious answer for the best rapper in the Midwest is Kid Cudi, but nah, I'm talking about the most underrated rapper, and man, that's Trippie Redd. Trippie Redd is pretty mainstream, but he doesn't get the respect he deserves, especially in the mainstream. This last year, Trippie Redd got a huge record deal, being $30 million. Trippie is such a consistent rapper. It's not even funny, man. Similar to the long story jokes that can last up to a full episode on Family Guy. Man, those are always kind of weird. Trippie has so many platinum songs and albums that are legit huge hits, but for whatever reason, the industry just looks at him like he's a SoundCloud rapper that somehow made it and kept sticking around. But you gotta look past all that industry bullshit and take a listen to his albums and his songs. His raspy rock voice, Pause, has inspired so many artists this past decade. Not to mention his most recent album, Trippin' Night, has inspired the whole underground to start using rage beats, and a bit of the mainstream as well. Trippie Redd even decided to go as far as making a rock album called Neon Shark, and that was last year. Trippie Redd is such a versatile artist, and somehow always comes through in one shape or form. Trippie Redd is the most underrated rapper in the Midwest, and I mean that by far. If you enjoyed this video was sponsored by me, and me only. So be sure to like this video, comment, and also subscribe.